Can I survive on minimum wage? Well, with things getting more and more expensive, practically by the minute, does minimum wage cut it? This is what I'm going to try and figure out today. I'm going to break down the basic need expenses, do the math, and find out what it really means to live on a minimum wage salary. Will there be crying? Maybe. Possibly. Probably. Most certainly. Let's set the scene before we get started. In the US, the federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. If you go by state, those numbers will vary, so we're sticking with federal. For someone working 40 hours a week, that's about $290 a week, or around $1,160 a month before taxes. Take out the taxes, it's closer to $1,072 a month in most places. So with a little over $1,000 a month, let's see how far we can stretch that. Oh my God! First things first, housing. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the US in 2024 is $1,713, meaning I'm already done and broke just based on rent alone. So since I can't afford that, I need to look at having roommates. This means a bigger place, and the average price for a two-bedroom apartment is $1,811, while three bedrooms will run you a whopping $2,218 a month. So let's say I get two roommates and we go in on a three-bedroom apartment. My portion tallies to $739.33. This leaves me with $332.67. Real rough start. But on to the next one. Food. Food is essential, so let's keep it basic. A bare bones grocery budget might look something like this: bread, rice, pasta, canned goods, a few vegetables, and maybe some eggs or beans for protein. On a tight budget, it's not easy to eat healthy or balanced meals. Alright, I went shopping online at Aldi for these products, and this is how it came out. I got bread for $1.49, instant white rice for $2.85, pasta for $1.09, pasta sauce for $1.85, canned green beans and corn for 55 cents each, black beans for 95 cents. For fresh veggies, I got a sweet potato for 91 cents, baby carrots for $1.19, broccoli for $1.95, and finally $3.29 for eggs. If we stuck to this list, it would cost us $16.67. Add in some taxes, and it's around $20.42. So if I got the same list every single week, I'd be paying $81.68 a month on one-star grocery meals. Adding in my grocery costs, my budget is now $250.99. Transportation costs can vary, but if you need a car to get to work, there's gas, insurance, maintenance. Those things can add up very quickly. For now, let's assume the only transportation you have is public transportation. Bus passes can vary from city to city, state to state, but around here, it's about $60 a month. Adding in transportation, my budget is now $190.99. We got housing, groceries, and transportation taken care of. Now we need to look at utilities and phone bills. The average price for utilities in the US is around $240. That includes gas, electric, and water. Add in Google Fiber Internet for $100, and now I'm up to $340. Not the greatest, but I also have two roommates, so I get to divide this by 3, which comes to $113.33. For a phone, a basic prepaid plan might run you around $30. Adding in utilities and phone together, and my budget is now $47.66. That's not a lot of room for emergencies, but a lot of room for tears. When it comes to health, not having insurance means even a minor medical incident can cost you hundreds. Things like medication, over-the-counter supplies, even doctor's visits, they aren't cheap. And remember, we only have $47.66. There's just no room for emergencies. Okay, so after all of that, I have less than $50 to play with. That's not much money to spread out over savings, entertainment, or even two-star groceries. How do people make it work? Well, some strategies involve getting a roommate like I did. But there's also working multiple jobs, or even sacrificing health needs. People on minimum wage often have to find creative ways to survive, like shopping at food banks or living at home with their parents to save money. And that's rough. So is it possible to live on the federal minimum wage? technically yes, but you'll be so miserable and it'd be a constant struggle. Having to live day to day and forced to choose between basic living needs, that would be draining physically and mentally. Well, I hope this shows you why the discussion around minimum wage is so important and why it should be raised. If you found this video to be helpful or even eye-opening, be sure to subscribe, and as always, thank you for trusting us.